Today I'm going to show you a very simple workflow that demonstrates how you can integrate RSpace with simple tools like protocols.io and also the PyRAT animal management system. So let's take a look here. I'm going to go to Create and I'm going to say I'd like to make a new document based on a protocols.io document. I'll go ahead and search my publicly accessible protocols and I'll look for the word mouse. Nothing very exciting here. And I'll just go ahead and say search. So we find some mice protocols here, which I can then look through and I can choose one of the ones I'm interested in. Let's just choose the first one and say import. That's going to turn that protocols.io protocol into a fully editable RSpace document and place it into a special area called imports. I can click on that if I want to and immediately start to make edits to it if I'd like. The versions will be fully recorded, and if I want to, I can revert back to the original version to see what the protocol looked like at the time of import, if that's what I want. Let's make a very simple edit here and just say something like, from under here, we'll say mount free floating sections on Superfrost slides. Let's just actually get rid of the word Superfrost because perhaps we're not using that type of slide today. And then I can save that. Okay, so now let's imagine that I would like to indicate to my downstream audience what kind of mice I've been using in this experiment. So I'm going to go to the very first section here and say edit, and then I'll put my insertion point where I'd like my mouse statement to go, and I'll say something simple like, here are the mice I used, and now I'll click on the PyRAT icon. That's going to give me access to my PyRAT server. If I want to, I can go ahead and apply filters to my PyRAT server to look for a particular type of mouse. I could choose, for example, the age. I could say whether or not I want these to be live or sacrifice specimens. I could specify the gender or the sex of the mouse too as well. I could go ahead and say I want all male mice at this time. And go ahead and apply that filter. And now what I could do is I could select all the ones that I see here and I can say insert. That's now going to insert a table into RSpace where I can see the mice that I've used today. Notice that I see the URL of the server that I've accessed these from, and notice also that this table is like any other table in RSpace. It's fully editable. I can, if I want to, make changes to it. I can edit it, I can add rows or columns, or I could delete it altogether. The other thing that I can do when I go back into view mode is if I want to, I do have the option to simply download that table as a CSV file by using the download item here. And then from there I can access that CSV file and open it up in something like OpenOffice in this case, or LibreOffice, to go ahead and see any of the details of the mice that I'm interested in. So you can see how easy that was. If I want to now at any time, I can go back to RSpace. I could reopen this file. I could add or delete additional tables. I could, if I wanted to, also go ahead and go back to the imports area, grab the document we've been working with, move it to my main workspace area. Let's go ahead and say we just want to move it to the top of my hierarchy. And then when I go back to the workspace tab, I'll see that document there. If I want to now, I can also look at the revisions of this. I could maybe look at the revision history for this entire document, and easily from there I can find the one that I first imported that lacks the table of mice that I used, or I could just as easily go and take a look at the newest version of that document that would include the table of individual mice that I've pulled from PyRAT.